Drones. We are hearing there is more activity with the drones than ever before. Even though the reporting on it has slowed down, the activity has not. In fact, we're hearing it has sped up. And that is why I'm going to be sharing with you what has just come out over the weekend. Today is January the 6th, 2025. And take a look at this. I'm going to be sharing with you the full briefing that came out as New York officials detail new efforts to deal with the drone security risks. This came out on the 3rd, but they're saying that now it is increasing and more than ever before. They need to address the drone issue. They're going to be calling upon the FBI and the FAA to find and arrest these drone operators now, they are saying, because this is posing a major security risk. They're saying this is a major issue. They need to get down to the bottom of this. And they're saying it is also a major flight threat as well. They're saying it is disrupting airspace in New York and around the world. As I mentioned, we're hearing these drones, they haven't gone anywhere. They are still here, and there is not as much reporting on them, but they are still an issue more now than ever before. And so I'm going to be sharing with you what it is that they're going to be saying as they're calling upon them, saying it is time to address this and get down to the bottom of it. And it's very fascinating how this all kind of started and then just disappeared as the Pentagon, the government, the Biden administration all just kind of claimed there's no real threat here, and it has just kind of gone away. Now, we are still getting reports, though. I'm going to be sharing with you the latest on this, but also, if you missed it, over the weekend, we heard that there were some interesting updates that came out as take a look at this. The Trump Hotel Tesla bomber's manifesto claims to be linked to the New Jersey mysterious drones. Did you hear about this over the weekend? If you did, put yes in the comments. If not, put no. And also, take a look at this. Army Green Beret behind the Las Vegas Cybertruck attack wrote a New Year's Eve letter. They're saying signaling mental health crisis at this time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, if you heard of this, let me know. Do you think that there is validity to this, or do you think that there's no validity to it? Do you think it's signs of mental health? Do you think the email is even real? Now, I was kind of hesitant about reporting on this because I've just seen a whole lot of speculation on this, and there's even people saying that as this has come out, they don't feel like it's valid, that this might have been made up, or if this is real, that it is signs of mental health issues. But I'm going to be sharing with you what is coming out. I'm just going to read it for you, cite the sources, link it so you can see it for yourself, and you can let me know, do you think that we're going to be going down the conspiracy rabbit hole here, or do you think that there is validity to it? Let me know as we go through this, and you're going to find this very interesting. Like I said, I'm going to go through the articles. I'm going to read the actual email so you can see it for yourself, and you let me know your thoughts in the comments. But what I will be sharing with you is that what came out over the weekend, that they are saying they need to address the drone issues, and this is coming out in the state of New York. They are saying, hey, we got to address this because this is an escalating issue. It's not going away. So like I said, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest so that way you know exactly what is going on. And if any more updates come out on this, I'll be sure to let you guys know because it just seems like it has slowed down with the drone narrative significantly. And it's not like it went away, just they stopped reporting on it, just hoping that maybe it'll be brushed under the rug. Now, let me know in the comments. Do you think that these are U.S. drones? There was a theory that this was U.S. drones seeking out, sniffing radioactive materials or some sort of nuclear bomb that might have been snuck across. There was an assortment of different speculations as to what was going on here. If you think so, put U.S. Now, if you think that this is from a foreign nation, like, say, China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, put the foreign nation's name in the comments. Let me know. What do you think? Do you think that this is from China? Do you think that this is from Russia? Now, we had heard Iran might have had a mothership off the coast originally. We heard a lot of people say China. Now, the email that I'm going to be reading for you, it's going to be saying that these are coming from China. Or if you think, yeah, I see Kenneth putting UFOs, unidentified flying objects, maybe some unearthly creatures of some kind, let me know in the comments what you think. But I'm going to be sharing with you the latest information coming out on this, and also what it is that the Tesla bomber from the Trump Hotel's manifesto apparently speculating is saying. So let me go ahead and share with you those so that way you can see the latest. And I see a lot of people saying China. China's coming in quite a bit. I'm seeing the USA. And don't forget, while you're putting those, don't forget to take a second to hit that like button for me. That like button helps spread this out further so more people can get the latest updates. If you appreciate it, that simple gesture helps me out a ton. I try to do my best to report to you exactly what is going on. Cite the sources in the description, link them just like a book report, so that way you can see the sources for yourself and know that it is the latest information. Also, to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell as information comes out. I'll be sure to keep you up to speed on all of it. And also, like I said, I want to make sure that I can provide for you the most accurate, up-to-date information. So I will clarify when something is a little bit speculative or if it is actually factual according to what is being reported. So at this time, these emails and all of this stuff coming out with this, we're kind of getting a lot of speculation here. We're not sure the validity of all this. Apparently, this came out on someone's YouTube show. From what I understand, some higher up person in the government received this information, or the military, and then gave it to a YouTuber. So I don't know, just the whole thing right off the bat seems a little bit odd to me. But like I said, I might be wrong. I'm just going to let you know that I'm just going to share with you the latest information on this. And again, if you appreciate that, hit that like button. I'm not going to say whether this is or is not because I don't know, but I'm going to just share with you the latest info so that way you can see it for yourself. And in addition to that, as I mentioned, like, subscribe, links down below. Let's go ahead and get right to it so that way you can see it for yourself. So first, let's take a look at this manifesto, this email, and then we're going to be getting to the actual press briefing that came out from New York as they're saying, find and arrest the officials. So first up, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, this is from Shore News Network, and it says the Trump Hotel Tesla bombers manifesto claims to be linked to the New Jersey's mysterious drones. And you can see the individual here. And it says that the man who parked a Tesla containing an explosive device near the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas allegedly ended his life with a single shot towards the head and then detonated the bomb. But not before leaving a bizarre manifesto about Chinese drones in New Jersey in an email. The bomber, Matt Livelsberg, left behind an email manifesto sent to multiple recipients making outlandish but troubling claims about mysterious drones over New Jersey and alleged military cover-ups. Now, China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they used the balloon for Signet and ISR, which are also part of the integrated comms system, Livelsberg wrote. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. What is because of the speed of stealth of these unmanned ACs. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. And actually, we've heard that we have seen some of these floating over the White House in previous weeks. It's checkmate. USG needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast, according to this. Now, here is the actual email. You can see it was released December 31st of 2024, according to this image. In case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. Not sure what that statement has to do with anything. I'm wondering if that's some sort of like code or information or something. Anyways, it says, what we have been seeing with drones is the operational use of gravital propulsion systems, powered aircrafts by most recently China in the East Coast. But throughout history, the U.S., only we and China have this capability. Our OPCN location for this capability in the box is below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they use the balloon for Signet and ISR, which are also part of the integrated comms system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned AC. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. USG needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, and how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. Now, I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know that I am armed and I have massive VBIED. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and CIA. I conduct targeting for these strikes over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of CIVCAS that ended the lives of hundreds of civilians in a single day. U.S. FORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was a part of that cover-up with U.S. FORA and Agent Blank of the DEA. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with Jen Miller's IO staff on this, as well as the response to Bala Murgab, AOBS commander at the time. Blank can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war, because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. For vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Burge or Matt Liversberger, an active duty 18Z out of 1 to 10. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI with UAP USAP access. And it says this was sent from a Proton Mail for Android, and there is the email. So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that there is validity to this email? If you think so, put yes. If you think no, put no. So this came out over the weekend, and a lot of speculation around this. However, a lot of people saying that there's a lot of holes in this email that just make it seem very odd. Yet I'm going to be sharing with you the article coming out also as well on this, that they're saying that they think that this is signs of mental health issues if this was in fact from that individual. And I'm seeing some people saying yes, they think that there's validity to it. Some people saying no. I'm curious to get your opinions. I'm seeing, it's across the board. I'm seeing yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. The room is split on the validity of this email. But let's go ahead and continue on. I'm just taking a look here. I'm still seeing the split in the room. Now, like I said, this is what is circulating. But again, just want to let you guys know that this is just speculation regarding this email. Now, before the blast, the suspect emailed a manifesto that investigators have since obtained. In the document, the suspect made unverified claims about advanced Chinese and U.S. drone operations, including alleged sightings of drones over New Jersey launched from submarines. China is poised to attack anywhere on the East Coast, the manifesto stated, alleging the drones were a part of a covert military posturing by both nations. The email also included references to classified military operations, with the suspect claiming to have knowledge of alleged war crimes committed during U.S. airstrikes in Afghanistan in 2019. The individual accused multiple government agencies, including the Department of Defense and CIA, of covering up civilian casualties from those strikes. Law enforcement officials have described the manifesto as disjointed and highly conspiratorial, and they are working to determine whether the suspect's claims have any basis in fact. Investigators believe the explosion was intentional and that the suspect acted alone. This appears to have been an isolated incident, and there is no indication of an ongoing threat to the public's safety, a law enforcement official involved in the investigation stated. Officials are also investigating the Tesla used in the incident, which was determined to have been rented by the suspect in the days leading up to the explosion. So there you have it, you guys. So that was the email. And again, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this is legit or no? And I saw the room kind of split on this, yes and no. But take a look at this. Army Green Beret behind Las Vegas Cybertruck attack wrote New Year's Eve letter signaling mental health crisis. It says the string of coincidences that initially appeared to link the New Year's Day tragedies in New Orleans and Las Vegas have been overtaken by mounting evidence that the Tesla Cybertruck bombing at the Trump International Hotel was in fact a public display of a private tragedy, new information and interviews show. Decorated U.S. Army Special Forces Master Sergeant Matthew Liversberg sent a disjointed email on the morning of New Year's Eve to Samuel Shumate, a retired Army intelligence officer and military pundit. It outlined a constellation of grievances and dire warnings related to his military service, but gave no hint of or explanation for his actions. In a text made public by local authorities, Liversberg wrote, "I needed to cleanse my mind of the brothers I've lost and relieve myself of the burden of the lives that I took." And in an interview on Friday, a former girlfriend of Liversberg said that he told her he suffered a traumatic brain injury while serving in the Middle East. Alicia Errett, who was in a relationship off and on with Liversberg from 2018 to 2021, told CBS News that she exchanged around 30 texts with Liversberg in the days leading up to the bombing. She said that he gave no indication that he was planning to take his own life or blow up a Tesla Cybertruck outside of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. He loved the Army, and he gave his life and his mind for it, Errett said. An Army spokesperson confirmed to CBS News in a statement Saturday that Liversberg had received counseling through its Preservation of the Force and Family program. Master Sergeant Matthew Liversberg had access to and used the POTFF program. He did not display any concerning behaviors at the time and was granted personal leave. All relevant records were provided to the FBI as the lead investigative agency, the spokesperson said. Experts told CBS News that Liversberg may have been the latest illustration of an ongoing concern facing U.S. military's most elite special operatives, the heightened risk of brain injury, traumatic stress, and mental health struggles. According to the National Center for PTSD Research on Veterans from the wars in Iraq to Afghanistan suggests that 10% to 18% of those troops are likely to have post-traumatic stress disorder and be at risk for other mental health problems. Depression rates among troops returning from overseas range as high as 24%. The high-risk, high-intensity career has for years raised concerns about the toll that long-running exposure to combat violence can take on Special Force soldiers. Liversberg's father told CBS News that he had been at home in Colorado Springs with his wife and 8-month-old child on Christmas on an approved military leave before he rented the Cybertruck and began his meandering drive towards Las Vegas. The Pentagon told CBS News there were no red flags prior to Liversberg's departure from Germany, where he was stationed, with 1st Battalion, 10th Special Forces Group. A CNN report Friday said Liversberg visited Military Behavioral Health Services multiple times. A review of Liversberg's social media posts, interviews with friends who knew him well, and most pointedly, his email to Shumate offered indications that he may have been struggling with those issues. On Friday, Shumate discussed a letter on The Sean Ryan Show, a podcast where Ryan, a former Navy SEAL and CIA contractor, interviews individuals primarily from the national security space. Now, in the email obtained by CBS News, Liversberg referenced his ongoing concerns about civilian casualties caused by an airstrike in Afghanistan. The incident he mentioned appears to align with reporters of U.S. airstrikes in May of 2019 targeting alleged processing facilities in Afghanistan, where more than 30 civilians, including children, lost their lives. CBS could not independently verify the letter's authenticity. Investigators said at a briefing Friday that Liversberg planned and prepared for the Las Vegas bombing alone. On Sunday morning, the day after the authorities say that he rented the Cybertruck, Liversberg sent Errett photos of the Tesla and said, "I rented a Tesla Cybertruck. It's the blank." She also told CBS News that Liversberg sent her playful videos of himself listening to rap on the drive to Las Vegas. Errett said that the FBI visited her after the explosion. She said that they told her that he had been in contact with several other women in the days leading up to the bombing. Beret said Liversberg suffered a traumatic brain injury before she met him while deployed in the Middle East, and that he had told her it caused a change in his behavior. He said he didn't want to get treatment for it. He felt it would ruin his career if he sought help. All he wanted to do was deploy and get back to it. He suffered a lot of memory problems as a result of injuries that he sustained during his service, including poor concentration, brain fog, and headaches, she said. Beret, a registered nurse, said she recognized these symptoms of a TBI because she had worked on wards for service members with brain injuries and amputations at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center from 2008 to 2009. I understood him, even if he didn't know the words for it, she said. Beret said that he had guilt over some of his actions while deployed, expressing concerns that his actions may have contributed to the loss of life of innocent civilians. Now, she said that Liversberg went through periods of isolation while they were together. He would disappear and just go cold for a couple of weeks. He was depressed, but he always wanted to get through the depression. He recognized it and he was working on it. He pushed himself hard to get through it, she said. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this is a case of an individual that was suffering from mental health issues? If you think it was mental health issues, put a 1. If you think no, that there was validity to this email, put a 2. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think there is no validity, that maybe this isn't even his email, or that he had some sort of issues going on? Put a 1. Or if you think no, there is validity to this, put a 2 in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Now, while you're doing that, don't forget to take a second to hit that like button. This is information, again, that came out over the weekend. This is speculation as to potentially what has happened here. The article says that this has not been verified, so I just want to clarify that for individuals. However, you can find his email and this information circulating around, as they're saying that this was released on a YouTube podcast called The Sean Ryan Show, as an individual said that they received this email from him the day before. Now, however, we are hearing that the drone situation has not gone away or slowed down. We are hearing that it is actually increasing, and we're seeing more and more of these in the skies. And they're saying this is a major security concern and issue right now, especially for airspace, for where planes are going to be coming in and out. They're saying there are drones in the sky, and that is why we saw over the weekend New York coming out. Officials in Suffolk County, New York, detail new efforts to deal with the drone security risks, and they are saying that it is time for them to find and arrest the individuals that are operating drones. They're saying that it needs to be made completely illegal. They need to find the operators of any types of drones that are in the air, and they need to be served justice because they cannot have this any longer. And it seems like this has just gone on for so long now, unanswered. It is absolutely unreal, and our government, our military, the Biden administration from the White House, just keeping us all in the dark, nobody really knowing what the answer to this is. But let me go ahead and play this for you. So this is actual information. This is actual video footage that came out on the 3rd, as they are saying that they want to address this because regardless of who it is or where it's coming from, it is posing a risk and it needs to be taken care of. Let's go ahead and take a look at the video footage.
Keeping Suffolk County safe. I would also like to thank Joshua Smith, the airport manager, Captain Mike Rhodes from the New York State Police, Bowman Prendergrass, Scott Poser, and Jeff Van Houten from Fire Rescue and Emergency Services, the 106th Rescue Wing Air National Guard, Legislator Welker, Legislator Kennedy, Legislator Stark, and Legislator Donnelly for being here for something that's extremely important and something that is continuing to grow here in Suffolk County. We've all heard about the rise in drone activity across the tri-state area, but what concerns us even more is the increase in unauthorized drone flights within the restricted airspaces, particularly near airports like Gabreski. Over the past weeks, we have documented multiple incidents of drones being flown dangerously close to this airport, which is a clear violation of the federal aviation regulations. On December 13th, one drone was spotted outside of the Gabreski airport space. On December 17th, 4 drones were sighted in and around the airspace. On December 24th, 6 drones reported. And on Christmas Day, December 25th, 17 drones reported, 13 hovering around the airspace, and 3 immediately outside the airspace. Flying drones near airports pose a significant risk to air traffic and public safety. Unauthorized drones can not only disrupt the usual airport functions, but also the military operations that take place here. In addition, drones can be used maliciously, which raises serious concerns about security and potential threats. Additionally, there are aircraft. These aircrafts are not only guaranteed to stay up in the air, they crash into the water, other people's houses, and on airports and terminals when they lose their signal, the battery fails, or some other unknown reason. Violating FAA regulations by flying a drone in restricted airspace is a serious offense, and we want to make sure that the public is fully aware of these consequences. Civil penalties, both federal, state, and local. Criminal penalties, reckless operation of a drone that endangers lives and property, which can result in fines of up to $250,000 and up to 3 years in prison. Operating without regulations, flying a drone without proper registration can lead to additional civil penalties of up to $27,500. Seizure of the drones and revoking licenses, and if a drone crashes on a military facility, criminal and civil penalties will be issued as well. To address these issues, we are working with Fire Rescue and Emergency Service to implement advanced drone detection technologies at this airport. These systems will help us identify and respond quickly to unauthorized drone activity. With the holidays just behind us, many of you and your loved ones may have received a drone as a gift. While they can be exciting and fun to use, it's essential to understand the rules and responsibilities that come with operating them. Please make sure your drone is registered and you are familiar with the FAA regulations, including where you can and cannot fly. There are plenty of spaces on Long Island where drones can be flown safely and legally, but flying near airports or other restricted areas is not only illegal, but incredibly dangerous. Our top priority is the safety and security of Suffolk County residents and visitors. We encourage everyone to enjoy their new technology responsibly and within the bounds of law. Remember, violating these rules can have severe consequences, including heavy fines and potential imprisonment, and it's truly not worth the risk. And now I would like to introduce Suffolk County Executive Ed Romaine.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
I want to thank our legislators, and we're also joined by our County Comptroller, John Kennedy. I'm going to give the Sheriff, this is a personal drone that's flown, but the ones we're talking about could be 20 times larger than this, sometimes as large as a car, that pose a challenge. This one is known as Froggy.
Thank you.
This is an ever-increasing problem. I'm calling on the FAA today to empower the FBI to begin investigation of these drones and to arrest and charge those who are using these very large drones that are flying that have been spotted illegally, particularly in light of the fact that they're flying near this airport and threatening airspace. Drones of this size, not the small one like this guy here, but drones of this size, the much larger ones, pose a threat to airspace. This is something that has become increasingly concerning to many of the residents of Suffolk County, and we've got, through our police departments, Sheriff's Office, and the Sheriff's Office is responsible for the airspace around this airport, reports of drones, and we need the FAA and the FBI to step up and enforce the law. The Sheriff just spoke of some of the penalties and the dangers that these drones have presented to us. We have to answer that danger by asking our federal authorities to step up to the plate and do the job. I know my colleague in Nassau County jokingly suggested we should shoot them down. That's not an option. These things, when they fall from the sky, pose grave danger. These things, as they fly, affect our airspace and the safe use of our airspace. This is a federal responsibility. I'm asking the FAA to work with the FBI to come out and follow up on each of these drone reports to determine who's behind it and to prosecute where necessary. I thank the sheriff for calling attention to this. This is something we're going to work with together, myself and all the police agencies in this county, to ensure that our airspace is safe, our airports are not threatened, and, as the sheriff said, not the small guys, but when these large guys fall from the sky, that they don't endanger our neighborhoods and our roadways. Thank you. Would any of the legislators like to comment? Your press conference, sir.
Just a quick thank you. My name's Ann Welker, Suffolk County Legislator for District Number 2, and I'd like to...
This is your district.
This is my district, town of East Hampton and most of the town of Southampton, including Suffolk County-owned Gabreski Airport. A deep appreciation and thank you to Sheriff Toulon and also to County Executive Romaine for bringing attention to this critically important aspect of the irresponsible use of drones. They're not a toy and they should not be treated as such. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He counts the money.
and to the county executive's point and the sheriff's point, not only is this a critical safety issue, but there are multiple millions of dollars of investment here in the Gabreski Airport and ongoing initiatives that reflect the whole of Suffolk County. Not only do we want to protect our military installation, our civilian and commercial aircraft, but we want to be proactive and protective on the considerable municipal investment that we have. And I commend both the county executive and the sheriff for being forward-thinking and identifying the grave risk that we have. It's safety, and quite frankly, it's money, ladies and gentlemen. And so I applaud them for this action. Thank you.
More importantly, in my closing remarks, if anyone knows of someone that's flying a drone over the airspace illegally, please report it to your local law enforcement agency so we can investigate it and go after those individuals that are doing it. We do investigate when we do get reports, but if you know of someone specifically that's doing it, we ask you to contact your local law enforcement agency so we can investigate. Open up to any questions.
Sir, if you can't shoot them down, how do you propose to protect against them flying over the airspace?
You know, attempting to disable them while they're in the air could be extremely dangerous because they are moving. So what we have to do is really just investigate when we get these 911 calls and see who is doing this so we can go after those perpetrators. Shooting down anything in the air is extremely dangerous. I don't know if you've ever gone clay shooting, but it's tough sometimes.
How far outside the perimeter of the airport are commercial drones restricted?
Oh.
Chris Brockmeyer, I'm the Chief Deputy Sheriff with the Sheriff's Office. So in and around this airspace, there's a notification system that anybody operating a drone, whether it be commercial drone operators or recreational operators, have to go through. It's called the LANC system, the Low Altitude Authorization Notification Capability System, and it's basically an FAA system that drone operators will go through to get authorization to fly in and around the Gabreski airspace or any airport airspace. But Gabreski in particular is a controlled airspace, Class D airspace. And based on the system that I just mentioned, the LANC system, there will be altitudes that are authorized as it grows out from the actual airport. So obviously within the direct vicinity of this airport, it's more restricted. Right here, in particular, 0 altitude, so you're not allowed to fly a drone in the airspace we're in now, right here. As you move further out from the central point of the airport, the altitude restrictions rise up a little bit, and then all the way out to the perimeter. The airspace here at Gabreski goes out to 5 miles. So it's fairly large, and Islip airspace goes out even further. So depending on where you live, you need to be aware of this. Now, a lot of families have given this to their children and may not be aware of the requirements surrounding this. And that's really, again, my hope is to get this information out. We're not going to go out and look to ruin your day and come knocking on your door and upset everybody. But it does pose a serious safety hazard, because what we have seen over the last few weeks is we're not talking about 5 miles out, we're talking about over the airport, over taxiways, over runways, and that's a serious safety concern. It's impacted air operations, and we're not going to stand for it. So again, I appreciate the sheriff and the county executive and our local officials here that are bringing this to everyone's attention.
Have you been able to identify any of the operators from
This AI trade finder will handpick you options trades every morning on autopilot. Hi, by
So we have not identified anyone as of yet, and as was mentioned prior, FRES, Fire Rescue and Emergency Services, has a mobile detection system that we will be implementing in the very near future, possibly by the end of today. And that detection system will allow us to help identify not only where these are taking off from, but also the IDs that are associated with these drones. And we're going to use that information to potentially go and knock on doors or locate the actual operator and have a conversation as to what they're doing. And if we're finding that it's nefarious and that they're actually trying to disrupt air traffic, that could be criminal charges that will be applied to them. Again, that's not our goal here. Our goal is to just get the message out, and hopefully people will understand the rules required to operate in this airspace and act accordingly.
This is no different than the laser light. That people got these laser lights and then they were using them to disrupt air traffic. And the feds investigated that and took action and sent a very strong signal that you can't do that because you're disrupting air travel. Drones have the same capacity to disrupt safe air travel, particularly around an airport that has civilian and military use. This is something that once we get this detection system, mobile detection system in place, we will be looking to our federal partners to pursue whatever remedies are necessary to shut down and send a signal that this is not acceptable.
Did those drones identify and vary in size from the kind of personal ones to larger ones?
Obviously, it's the larger ones that pose the most danger. There are some as large as cars, from what we've heard. This small one is like something you would give a child. But even this could pose a danger if it was flown in airspace around this airport as a military plane was landing or something of that nature. So we're asking people to be concerned, to follow up, to know where you can fly the personal ones safely, and anything larger, be aware. We're going to track it.
Have you already been in touch with the federal authorities about this?
You want to speak? No, you go.
So any intrusion into the airspace in and around this, it generally goes through the tower, the air traffic control tower here. They'll make notifications to the local FAA resources. The FBI, I have been in contact with the FBI on this. They do proactively go out and investigate reports of this. So yes, we have been in contact with the FBI, and again, I second what the county executive has said. We need cooperation with our federal partners because this is a federal problem. The airspace is governed by the FAA, not necessarily local entities, but we will do our best and attempt to knock on doors and get the message out as we're able to make sure that people understand the rules surrounding the use of this, and if needed, bring them to the proper authorities to meet their judgment.
Drones need to be registered with the FAA for the mobile detection system to identify them?
So, the technology is evolving. Depending on the size of the drone, a drone that's 0.55 pounds or more are required to be registered with the FAA and receive a remote ID. That's the requirement. Now, if you're not registering it and you don't know that you have to register it, you might not be doing that. So again, the hope here is to not only get that message out, but also to make sure that people understand what the requirements are. So yes, depending on the size of the drone, you are required to register it.
And obviously, security is a concern, and safety is a concern, because could these drones be used for nefarious purposes? Absolutely. We're seeing cars being used to kill people. So think about that. These drones could pose a serious danger. We're taking steps now with this detection system. And you know what? Yeah, the good people who have drones will register them. The bad people may not. And that's why we have to follow up on all of this. And this is why the FBI and the FAA have to work very closely with our sheriff and our law enforcement partners here in Suffolk County.
And just lastly, we're also concerned because we've seen across the country drones being used to drop contraband into various jails and prisons across the United States. So, I want to thank Commissioner Sunderman for helping us, and of course County Executive Romaine, helping us with this technology, because we want to avoid any type of contraband, whether they're drugs or weapons, being dropped into yards where inmates congregate during the day, and those weapons or drugs could possibly...
There you have it, you guys. So let me know your thoughts, as we're hearing them say that there's an urgent need now to make sure that they address the drone issue. And a lot of people say it in the comments, made a good point. I thought that they said that they posed no threat and there was no issue. Well, now we're hearing that New York is saying no, that is not the case, that they need to address the drone issue and that it is causing an issue for airspace. And they're saying that anybody that they find that is flying a drone unauthorized, that there is going to be arrests made. And they're saying to find the people that are in charge of these drones that are operating illegally in the airspace and arrest them. Doesn't matter who they are. If there are, they said hobbyists, if it's China, if it's, they said whoever it is, we need to find them. We need to arrest them. It is time. They're saying that they have had enough of this. And again, this coming out from New York. They are saying to step up and take control of what is going on. Now, this comes as well, as I had mentioned to you, that we had heard over the weekend. Now, that footage came out 3 days ago, came out on January 3rd. But over the weekend, we had heard that there was an email that had come out as well, giving more information about potentially speculating what could be going on here. Now, take a look. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you one more time here. It says, Trump Hotel Tesla Bombers Manifesto claims linked to New Jersey mysterious drones. And we had seen as well that they were saying, though, that they did not say that there was any verification of the validity of the email, but it was signaling a mental health crisis with the particular individual. And speaking of drones, a lot of people concerned about what is going on with the mysterious orbs that we're hearing are taking place in the sky as well. Now, I haven't been able to find a whole lot of information on this other than circulating video footage across social media. No, not a whole lot of reports on orbs. But here is one that I found, that this coming out from the Hindi Times, and you can see coming out December 28th. So, as I mentioned, all of the orb and the drone narrative slowing significantly, but we are still seeing, just in the past couple of days, New York addressing this, saying, hey, this is still an issue and we need to step things up here. Now, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you feel like the orbs are a major concern as well? There has not been a whole lot on the orbs. If you think so, put yes. If you think no, put no. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And also, if you haven't done so yet, take a second, hit the like button, and let's take a look at this article together. I'm going to give you the latest information coming out on this. Now, let's see here. I see that we've got people pouring in their information, their thoughts on the information. The orbs are either aliens or some highly advanced technology, says Strategy. Somebody says, I can't believe this. This is BS. Other people are saying yes, they're interested in discussion about the orbs. Some people saying no. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But take a look at this with me. U.S. residents baffled by mysterious drones and orbs seen in the sky above New Jersey in viral videos. Now it says, as the ongoing drone mystery in the U.S. unfolds, strange red orbs had been sighted over the eastern U.S., generating suspicions about their origins. And here you can see some of the footage of these lights in the sky. Now it says, a traveler heading to New York's JFK airport noticed that the red orbs, as they flew over New Jersey, where drone appearances have been common, confusing locals and igniting conspiracy theories. When the drones were first seen in the sky, there was a lot of conjecture about where they came from and why they were there. Now, meanwhile, inhabitants of the UK, they have observed increased drone activity as well, and Americans, they have claimed to have seen enigmatic drones and orbs in the skies over New Jersey and eastern U.S. Video footage of what one traveler dubbed two reddish orbs seen in New Jersey on Friday night. It was posted on X. And here you can see some of the posts that have been coming out. Saw these two reddish orbs on my way from Las Vegas to JFK tonight at around 9:30 p.m. looking over New Jersey. I am very excited to capture more footage this week, the X writer wrote. I've always looked up in the sky with a keen interest in airplanes, and I grew up playing different updated versions of Flight Simulator. When these things look strange in the sky, I noticed. I am very excited to capture more footage this week, he said. Conspiracy theory and UFO-related accounts on X uploaded another clip in which the odd red orbs were seen circling the Queensboro of New York. And here you can see is the X post, and you can see the sky, and there you can see that at night there are those orbs that are apparently floating around in the sky. The drones are not a threat to public safety, as per the FBI and Homeland Security. Earlier this month, the Federal Aviation Administration prohibited drones flying in 30 locations in New York and 22 locations in New Jersey that contain vital infrastructure. On social media, the drones and UFO conspiracy theories have generated a lot of conjecture. This month, there have been previous reports of orbs captured on camera from a passing aircraft. A clip from passengers flying from Chicago O'Hare International Airport to Newark Liberty International sparked the mystery. Michael Melham, the mayor of Belleville, raised a new explanation regarding the drones, saying that they had been searching for radioactive material. And again, we had heard this from a New Jersey mayor who had come out and said this. What might they be looking for? Maybe that's radioactive material. It was a shipment. It's arrived at its destination. The container was damaged and it was empty, he stated on Fox News. Earlier this month, he made this declaration in response to an alert from the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission that a piece of medical tool needed for cancer scans was lost in transit on December 2nd. John Kirby, a spokesperson for the National Security Council, recently downplayed the importance of the drone sightings. We assess that the sightings to date include a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, and law enforcement drones, as well as manned fixed-winged aircrafts, helicopters, and even stars that were mistakenly reported as drones. So that is the explanation that we have heard, and we have not heard any further explanations. And we've heard that there are no issues with these, that there is no harm to the public, no major concerns. Yet at the same time, only 3 days ago, as I shared with you the video footage, we saw New York coming out and saying they are calling upon the FAA and the FBI to find out who is behind this and arrest them and stop the illegal drones flying in the airspace that is causing a threat. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, like I mentioned, not a whole lot of information has been coming out on this, just what we have seen, and it has really started to slow down regarding any potential information coming out across news media outlets. Yet we're hearing the activity still remains high. So if anything comes out on this and we get any information further as to what is going on, I'll be sure to let you guys know here on the channel. But like I said, right now, a lot of speculation, just to clarify, that Sean Ryan Show email came out. Some people saying they believe that it is legitimate. There's validity to it. Other people saying, no, they don't believe so. I honestly do not know. And I was even hesitant to even report on it, but so many people have asked, hey, Steve, can you please share the email? Let us know what's going on. So that is the latest. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. And like I said, as more unfolds, I'll be sure to let you know here on the channel. But I'll keep you up to speed because there has been a lot going on. And if you didn't hear, check out my live streams earlier today. We saw that today, January 6th, the certification of the elections, 2024 elections of Donald Trump, certified by Kamala Harris. Man, she had to certify it today, making it official. Donald Trump is now going to be the president and will be ushered in on January 20th. And in addition to that, too, breaking news taking place earlier this morning, we heard that Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, he has resigned, stepping away. So a lot going on today, and also more information rolling out. I'll keep you up to speed here on the channel. But that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, if you appreciate the updates, hit that like button, hit subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And articles are going to be linked down in the description below. Cite all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it so that way you can see it for yourself and rest assured and know that it is the latest. But that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.